Okay, so again, we're going to be doing rectangular approximation, but we're doing it from a table. Now, normally we wouldn't have to graph it, but it makes it easier to understand since we're just learning it right now. Okay, so they've given us our values, okay, x's and our y's, and it's saying to use MRAM with 5 intervals. So we're going to be using 5 rectangles. So if you look at it from -2 to 8, that's basically 10. The distance is 10. Divide that into 5. It's 2 wide. Each one of them are going to be 2 wide. The last example, we couldn't do that because we didn't have even intervals. Here, all the intervals are even. Each one of our x's go up by 1. Okay? So if we look at it, I'm going to have an interval from here to here, 1 from here to here, 1 from here to here, 1 from here to here, and 1 from here to here. So this is my rectangle 1, rectangle 2, rectangle 3, rectangle 4, and rectangle 5. Okay? Now again, I'm going to graph it so it makes a little more sense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10. So here at -2. -2, I'm at 4. -1, I'm at 2. 0, I'm at 3. At 1, I'm at 5. 2, I'm at 7. 3, I'm at 4. 4, 6, 5, 8, 6, 5, 7, we're at 9, and 8, we're at 11. Okay, so these are my points from the chart. Okay, so again, if you count every 2, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, those are my 5 rectangles, my 5 intervals. Okay, I'm using MRAM. Okay, so midpoint. So basically, my rectangles from here to here, the height comes from the midpoint, so the middle. So I'm going to start in the middle and go up till I hit the function, and that's where the height of my rectangle comes from. So the middle from here to here, the middle from 1 to 2 is at 1. So I go up to 5. So here's the height of this rectangle. Midpoint here, this is the height of this one. From here to here, here's my height. So there's that rectangle. From here, go up, we hit here. So there's the height of that rectangle. Okay, so again, this is R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Okay, so that's just giving us kind of an idea. Now, if we were doing this, we don't technically need the graph. We could start with the chart because R1, the height for R1 is the midpoint between -2 and 0, which is 2. So height is 2 times the width. And for each one of these, the width from here to here is 2. 0 to 2 is 2. 2 to 4 is 2. 4 to 6, 2. 6 to 8, 2. So all of my widths of my rectangles are going to be 2. So again, we could have done this. We could have just added up all the heights. 5 times 2, but middle is 4. 4 times 2. R4 is 8 in the middle, so 8 times 2. And then on R5, height is 9 times 2. So that means my total area, which is R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4 plus R5, is 4 plus 10 plus 8 plus 16 plus 18 for a grand total of 56. Okay? Now, it doesn't really give a good representation Like if you looked at this function and you connected the dots like this, you could see very quickly that we're missing a lot of areas, because we're missing this area, all of this area here, this area, and that area. And just these spots right here are not going to make up for all that missing area. Okay, so this is probably an underestimate, is what I would suggest. Okay, now, just to show you what it would have looked like, say we had used LRAM. The same problem if we had used LRAM. That means that these intervals, and I'm going to do that in red, these intervals, R1 would have gotten its value from here, from the left side. So if I was using LRAM, I would have used 4, and then 3, and then 7, and then 6, and 5 for my heights. Those would be my 5. And graphically, it would have looked like this. That one, and then this one here, and this one would have been here like that, and this one would have been here like that, and this one would have been here like that. And you can see it gives me a very different set of rectangles. Okay, so just make sure that when you're doing these, you're setting it up and you're making sure that you're using the rectangles that they're telling you to, and that they're actually getting the heights that you need to get. That's probably the hardest part, is kind of setting up, looking at your table and figuring out, oh, okay, which heights am I using? Okay.